What is up, guys? This is shop vlog number 4. Now, we don't have a whole lot going on today, but I did start getting the RZR motor pulled. I'm gonna lose track of how many shop vlogs we're probably in, like by 10. I guarantee by 10 I'm gonna lose track, and I'm gonna be like, it's 2011-6. That's how many shop vlog number we're on. Anyway, got the motor pulled out of here, and same as always, the one thing I always manage to forget: wash the machine first. It is what it is. But here she is. I got the pistons off, and I'm thinking a top end was the issue, because although I've never seen a cylinder Nicosil flake like that, that's not to say it's caused from the water. I'm just saying, like, I've just never seen one do this of all the machines we've parted out. But you can see those 2 deep scoring marks right there. I ended up having to use the air hammer to actually get the pistons out of there. They wouldn't move, so you just kind of hold it, you nail it from the top. It's a little trick that we used when we were parting them out. But these pistons, they're a little gross. So far, I know for sure we're going to need these lifters, because all 4 of them are collapsed. Well, that one might not be, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not even gonna give that a shot. The rest of the motor looks all right. It turns over good. Got low compression. No, I'm just kidding. There is oil in there. I assumed it was dry, and it's not, but look at how crusty that crank is. Now, I believe I can clean that up. I'm really on the fence of whether I want to run that or not, because the rods don't have any up and down play on them. And I think maybe if I soak it in diesel, it'd be all right. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Would you run this crank, or would you just not run this crank? I mean, I'm building this to resell, yes, but at the same time, I don't want to sell somebody something that's about to pop. Not to mention, we'd have to clean all that up real good. One thing that's in hindsight, that with the buyout of all the parts, I'm gonna have to buy some sort of other dip tank. Now, this right here is a bit overkill for what little bit I'd use it, so we sold that to brutalparts.com. But I still need something I can wash this stuff with. I'm not sure yet. Maybe a dip tank, something like a hot tank with diesel. That's what I used to use years ago, before we could afford something like that. But as I was taking the motor out, I noticed this bolt's gone. This crank position sensor, it was not bolted in at all. Definitely gonna end up needing sway bar bushings. We're missing that bolt there. I'm kind of thinking they started tearing it apart just to rebuild the top end, and kind of stopped for whatever reason, and then cannibalized some parts from it. That's my best guess. That's just an educated guess. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna get the rest of this motor torn down and these parts cleaned up. I'm gonna get parts ordered for this thing, and make sure that we got everything coming that we need, so I can put it back together, put it back in, and I'll probably rebuild the motor on whatever day those parts come in, and then put it back together the next day. It's depending on what all we got going on. I know next week's gonna be a busy week. Wonderful. That's what the oil's looking like, or what should be oil. There goes my crush washer. We'll add that to the list, because I sure as hell ain't digging that out of there. Ugh. All right, it isn't that bad. All the crank bearings look good. They're dirty as hell. I'm gonna replace all those. I'd rather use new ones. There's some rust on the crankshaft balancer, but we can clean that up, and I know that won't be an issue. The cam's probably gonna have to be replaced. Where's that at? There's some like real good rust right there that kind of ate through the coating. So that's definitely gonna have to be replaced. I did find that the starter was also bad. This thing's completely seized. I'm gonna replace that little filter thingy. I forget the technical term for it. I don't know, I'm still on the fence with the crank. If I want to try to use this. I mean, everything rolls nice and smooth. Doesn't sound gritty. It's just a lot of work to gamble with. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you run this? Clean it up and run it? I'd definitely at least clean it up, soak it in diesel. Cam bearing, crank. That surface looks good. Everything else kind of look good. I mean, the only thing that's out that I wasn't sure if I'd have to replace or not is the camshaft. I don't think I want to gamble with that being where the rust is on it. On the bright side, we don't need anything like crazy, like a head, cases. If this motor was a total loss and had to buy everything, I don't know that I would want to build that thing. It's just that's a lot of money worth of parts to also possibly find out that there's other issues, because you know we're definitely having to replace injectors, which luckily I found out I have those from something else where I bought 2 pairs for some reason. And then I don't know, cases for these are high dollar. They're like $500. You know, if we had to buy cases, a crank, top end, a head, by the time you buy all that and put it together, you might have too much money in that to turn a profit on it, and I just don't know if that would be worthwhile. So it's definitely a plus that we're able to tear it down and see, okay, it's not that bad. Come next week, we can actually start tearing into, after all the parts are gone, start buying more and getting more units in to get them up and running, ready to ride. The 700's still giving me issues, and I think that's my fault. We're gonna see. I ordered a battery for it today. The battery I put on it, I think, was too small because everything else was out of stock. So I think that's a lot of my cause of my problem. But I just don't want to fill the shop with more machines, and then when he comes to get all this stuff, be trying to move around other stuff. I mean, if I could move everything out, I would, but these broke down units kind of got to stay where they're at. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you're working on down in the comments. You know, what are y'all building? Are y'all flipping? Y'all eBaying?